Hi. I've had a few requests of people to do some videos just on basic applying the makeup and how I do it. So I thought I'd do some videos for you to follow at home. If you like them and you do find that they are helpful, let me know and I'll do some more. If not, I'll probably still do some more anyway. It's keeping me sane. So yeah, I'm just going to do a basic video today and we'll get cracked on. So for primer, I use Illamasqua's Hydra Veil. I use it on my clients, use it on myself. I've never had any problems. I find it works on all skin types. It comes with a little spoon. Excuse my nails, I'll let my 7-year-old paint them. You only need a tiny bit. Literally just put a little bit on. You only need a small amount because it does spread quite well. It's quite thick, like jelly. Then just get a brush and pat it in. A lot of people use their hands, but I don't like to, especially when I'm doing clients. A bit on my neck. I'm going to do my brows. I prefer a structured brow. I know a lot of people do like a fluffy brow, which I will do in another video, but I'll stick to what I like, which is a structured brow. I'm going to use the Acid Rain angled brow brush from P. Louise. It is super thin, so it works really well. And I'm going to use Illamasqua's brow gel. This is in the shade Strike. I don't know if you can see it, but that's it anyway. I prefer Illamasqua's brow gel because it doesn't dry out like a lot of pomades do. So I'm just getting a tiny bit, and I'm going to go underneath my brows. It don't matter too much if you make a bit of a mess, because we're going to carve the brows after, tidy it up. So this is just to get the underneath shape. You want to take the top near, see where I've stopped on the top bit, just because we're going to make this bit a little bit more like a natural brow, so it's not a solid block. I'm just filling in between. Like I said, don't worry too much if it's not perfectly neat. Just neaten it up after. What we do on this section is we do thin brush strokes, just straight up, just so it looks a bit more natural. Then we get a spoolie and just give them a brush through. Just brushes your product through, so you ain't got big gaps. And if there's any bits you're missing, like there, you just get a bit more product on your brush and go over like that. Let's give them a brush through again. Just gonna do other brow. Same again. Don't worry if your brows don't match. Mine very rarely do. You can go over any bits once you've got majority of brow on. Right, we're going to carve them out now. As you can see, this brow is quite a bit higher than this one. Doesn't matter. For carving my brows, I use P. Louise base. This is shade 2. And I'm using the Acid Rain concealer brush as well. So I'll just put a bit of product on the back of my hand. Make sure you've got plenty of product on both sides of your brush. And then we're going to start at the arch. Keep getting more product. And just tidying up any mess. Once you're happy with underneath, now what we're going to do is fill in the whole eyelid. And this is going to be your base for your eyeshadows. Once you've got your product on, you want to pat it with your brush because it sets it better. So I'll let that dry. I'm just going on to the other eye. Again, starting at your arch. This is why it doesn't matter if you make a bit of a mess, because we tidy it all up after. Patting it all again. I'm just going to take a little bit of product, just go around the top part. Don't have to do this. I just find it neatens it up a little bit more. Don't put too much product on. You just keep tidying bits up until you're happy. I'll take a bigger fluffy brush and just blend out edges of it. Pat on top of the lid. Blend out your edges. It's just so when you start putting your foundation on, you ain't got solid lines that you've got to try and cover. Keep patting on your base until it's all dry. That way it gets rid of creases on top of your lid. That's it. I like to do eyes first, just because I'm quite messy. So it's easier to clean up any fallout rather than trying to clean it up after you've got all your base on. Just gonna do something simple, quite natural. So I am gonna use, let me get it out, my P. Louise palettes. So I'm gonna use Latte, which you can see I've used quite a lot, and that's from the original P. Louise palette. Should find a brush. Here we go. I'm going to use Peaches and Cream PC38, which is just really small blending brush. Get some product. Just doing it in small side to side motions. Make sure you keep dipping back into your products as well. And I'm just going to the end of my lashes. I'm going to get them both to meet in the middle. Again, make sure you keep winning your product, otherwise you end up with patches. So you're going to look a bit like a spotted dog with a patch on your eye. But that's fine, because that's what it's meant to look like. What I'm doing now is take any excess product off my brush, and then very lightly I'm just going to go round the outside, just so there's no harsh lines. Just ready for the next colour. Just softens that edge up just a little bit, ready for the next colour that goes on. Do exactly the same on the other eye. Starting at middle. Okay, I'm just going to take excess products off. Just gently blending out edges. I'm just doing it in really small, gentle, circular motions. That's it. I'm going to go in with a different colour now, and this is from P. Louise Secret Sinner palette. Shade I'm going to use from this one is this one here. It's called Fling. It's quite similar to what I've got on now. There's another Peaches and Cream brush, but this one's the PC34. Just a bit bigger. Got my hair on it. Just a bit bigger than the other one. Take a bit of Fling. And then what we're going to do is the 50-50 technique, which is basically you brush half on this colour and half above. So let's go 50-50. You're just going to dab it on. Don't worry if it looks a mess while you're doing it. We've got plenty of blending to do. Just need to get that colour on. And then again, blending out your edges. So you can build up this colour as much as you need. I'm going to go back in with Latte from the first P. Louise palette. Just to get that colour back in. Keep going between shades as many times as you need to until you've got your colours right and your blends right. Go back into Fling again. Just blending out the edge. And do exactly the same on the other eye. So I'm going in with Fling.
Get ready for new playlists personalized for you with new release mix, your mix, and discover mix. You'll easily find music that you love. Play them now in the YouTube Music.
Just keep on blending them till they both match. So don't press on too hard when you are blending, because then you end up with patches that go a bit grey, a bit muddy looking. So just make sure you blend is really gentle. There's no right and wrong way, to be fair. I'm going to go back in again with Latte. Build up colour again. happy with them. So I'm going to find my brush. We're going to do a half cut crease. So using P. Louise base again. I'm going to use the Nicole brush, which is from Nosh. See, it's really thin. I'm going to take P. Louise base, both sides of the brush. I'm going to start in inner corner and work my way out halfway. Again, this takes practice. Still takes me quite a while. Just take your time. I've got hooded eyes, so I have to take mine quite a bit higher. One way of finding out how high you need to do it is if you put a blob of base in the middle of your eye, look up, you can see that's where at least you'll need to do it to. I like to do it a little bit higher. So take your time, make sure you've got plenty of base onto your brush. And just pat that on until you're happy. I'm going to go just a little bit further than halfway, just so it gives me plenty of space to blend my other colour in. Once you're happy with it, exactly the same on the other eye. So starting on inner corner again. So, just prints a line on so you can see. So don't worry if you have got hooded eyes, you can still do things like this. You just need to go higher than your crease. I'm gonna get my fluffy brush again. Just pat that down, just so it dries a little bit. So you want it tacky. Neaten that bit up. Right, and now, if I don't knock my case over, I'm gonna find out one of my peaches and cream pigments, which is this one, Gatsby. It's really nice, and we're gonna put this over where we've just cut the crease. just to help it stick, I'm going to use some NYX glitter glue. So again, pop a little bit on the back of your hand. You don't need much of this. A little bit. Try to find a flat brush. I'm going to use one of my Morphe brushes. I can't tell you which one it is because I seem to have rubbed the number off. It's just a thin oval brush. So it's a similar shape to cut crease. So a little bit of product. And get as close to edge as you can. Just dabbing on a tiny little bit of the glitter glue. Don't worry too much about this edge because we are going to be blending that in after. With the same brush, I'm going to take a little bit of the Gatsby pigment, then a little bit at a time. We're going to pat it on. Need more pigment, dip it in, tap off excess. You don't want it falling all over your face, and then just carry on. I love this pigment, it's super sparkly. So you're all covered. And do exactly the same on the other eye. Get your glitter glue. Don't need a great deal. Don't want it to go clumpy. Getting as close to edge as possible. Just pat it all on. Don't worry if it does fall on your face, we can wipe it off after. Like I said, this is the reason why I do my base after. I think this is my favourite pigment. It's amazing. So this is what it should look like at the minute. What I'm going to do is go back in with Latte. Oh, because that's not my colour. And we're going to go into this edge, just patting it in. So that you're getting rid like this side, so you ain't got that sharp edge. So take your latte in. And then we're going to go in with the other colour we had for the outside, which was Fling. This is just a lighter shade. It just gives you a better transition between colours. I'm just going to do exactly the same on the other eye. Back into Latte. Just keep checking that it matches obviously with your other eye. This is Fling, lighter colour. Just want to tap this on so you don't start rubbing colours off. And just keep doing that until you ain't got a solid line, so it looks a little bit blended. So you're happy with it? That'll do. If you have got any fallout, just wipe it off underneath your eyes. Cotton pad and any makeup remover. Just make sure before you do put any more makeup over the top, you do let it dry. What I'm going to do now is take some of the P. Louise base, which I've got left over. I'm just going to go underneath my eye. On both. Take fluffy brush again. Just blend into edges. Again, so you ain't got any harsh lines. This just helps underneath to cover everything up. As you can see, I'm quite red. Been making most of the sun for the last few days. There we go. Right, you can do it with or without lashes. It's completely up to you. It's whatever you prefer. I love a lash, so I'm going to do a lash. I'm using the ones that I bought recently, and then completely forgot that I got. So I'm going to use some, and they are unicorn lashes. These ones. I have already put some mascara onto my own lashes because I find it helps them stick. I've just used one of Avon's own mascaras. Don't really matter what you use because you're not particularly going to see it anyway. Way to measure your lashes is just get them with a pair of tweezers, get a mirror, put it down so you're looking down into it, but obviously keep your face forward. Get your lash, pop it on top of your own lash, and then obviously you'll be able to see how it sits. I don't need to cut mine down because they fit mine quite well. So all I'm going to do is pop on some glue. I am using Duo's brush on lash glue. This one is the dark one. It's not always great for everyone, especially if you're just learning lashes. You're best off with the clear one, which is in a white tube. I do find that the brush on one is better though. So just a little brush. Just going to apply some all the way along the band. Don't put too much on, or it'll take a long time to dry. And then I'm just going to put that down and let that go tacky while I do the other lash. Same again, you can measure it on your other eye as well. I don't need to because I use Unicorn Cosmetics lashes quite a lot, so I know that they always tend to fit me. Won't necessarily fit everyone on both eyes because not everybody's got the same shape and length eyes. So that's down to you. Again, just put a thin layer of glue onto the band of the lash. And I'm just going to leave them a few seconds just to go tacky. Because they will stick better if they're stuck on tacky. I look a bit crazy at the minute because I've got these big dark lashes on with no base. But trust me, once it's all done, it all comes together. So just get a few more seconds. So same process again for actually sticking the lash on. You'll look down into your mirror and you're going to place the lash on top of your lash so you've got it in place, and then to use your tweezers to move it about and stick it. So I've just placed that on top of my lash, so it's literally just sitting on top of my lash. Then I'm going to get my tweezers. And I'm going to push the lash band onto my lashes, just so it sits where I want it to sit. Do that all the way along until you've got it where you want it. I squeeze the lashes together with the tweezers with my own lashes as well. It just gives them a bit extra support. Don't have to do that. I know a lot of people won't like to do that because it's near the eyes. But just keep moving it about until you've got it in a comfortable place. That's it. That's one. Exactly the same on this side. Just make sure it's completely dry. Just get one lash that I want to cooperate. Just sit it on top so you've got it where you want it, and then use your tweezers to squash everything down afterwards.
Delivery numbers are massively up at the minute, so demand's high, resources are low. If you are a nurse and you are thinking about it, I would without any hesitation come back, because we do need the help from the nurses out there. There are people that are needed now to do roles that
This isn't cooperating. Always one. If it's usually my other one.
Any role in a food factory that you can think of, we probably need someone to do it.
I'm just going to take that off. Put a little bit more glue on it. Just going to let that go tacky again. No, I'm just squashing lashes together. For this, I'm just going to put line there, line there, line there, so we can apply any more if we need to, like a crazy cat. And then I'm going to use another Peaches and Cream brush. This one is the PC19, which is just a big domed brush. And then we're going to pat it in. Don't put it too close to under your eyes. Because we're going to go in with concealer. especially if you've got a lot of lines under your eyes. Putting a lot of product on, it can just make the lines a lot more prominent. So let's just pull a little bit down onto my neck so that it all connects. And then keep patting it in. Don't go too close to your brows. Because what we're going to do is we're going to use the fluffy brush that we used earlier. Take a tiny bit of product on the back of your hand. And then we're going to get them bits that we couldn't get with a big brush. Don't worry if you make a bit of a mess, we can clean it up. So just go around everywhere that you couldn't get. Outside of your nose, it's quite a big one that a lot of people do miss. If you do catch anywhere on your brows, just take your brush. Don't need any product on it, because all we're doing is just wiping off the foundation that we've just put on. So fully covered. Then we're going to go in with foundation. Foundation, concealer. Oh, I'm not doing well today. For concealer, I'm going to use another Illamasqua product. This one is the concealer pen, which is in shade L2. All I'm going to do, a couple of clicks, and then I'm going to do a triangle shape under both my eyes. And then a line down my nose, bit on my chin, and in the middle on my forehead. I'm then going to use another brush, which is my Zoeva 110 face shape brush, and all I'm going to do is just pat that concealer in under my eyes, so in a triangle shape. Yeah, as close to the under your eye as you can. Down your nose, up to your forehead. We are going to blend all this in, so don't worry. Right, I'm going to do some contour. I do use a cream contour. You don't have to, you can just use a powder contour, but I find you get more of a nice blend when you use cream contour. So I'm using Revolution Fast Base Stick, which is this, and it's in F13. It looks really dark, but obviously once it's all blended in and everything, it's not that dark. All I'm going to do is down my cheek to do a line. Same on the other side. You don't want to put too much on, especially if it's your first time using it, because it'll end up everywhere. A little bit around your forehead, and then just a little bit on your nose. Then another Peaches and Cream brush. This one's the PC15. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to blend in this contour, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to dab it in, just because you don't want to move about everything that you've already got down. It does take a bit of work, but as you can see, it is starting to blend. Just take it up towards your eye and a little bit out to your cheek. just until that solid line has gone. There you go. You see the difference between this one and this one. So we're going to do this side now. Exactly the same, just patting it. Bring it a little bit down your cheek, not too much though, so you've got to put your blush on. And then a little bit up inside of your eye. This is just so everything all blends together. There you go. It does take a while, but like I say, I think it gives best finish rather than powder. It just blends nicely with your foundation and concealer. You can add more if you need to, you can have less. So I put this on every time I do my makeup, so I sort of know how much I need. If I'm doing a more intense look or if I'm going out in the evening, I will put a bit more on. Or what I'll do is top it with some powder contour, which usually is my MAC dark tan. For your nose, I'm just going to do it in little swiping motions, really lightly. Otherwise you lose what you've put on. There we go. You can put it down here to chisel out your face, cover up your double chins if you've got them like me. But I'm not going to, just because you don't need it on a basic makeup look. It's only if you're doing your photos for your pages, I know, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that stuff. That's why I don't do it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to set underneath my eyes. A lot of people don't like to set, especially if you've got a lot of creases under your eye, but I find if I don't set under my eye, I end up with creases. So PC17 brush, and I'm using MAC's Mineralised Skin Finish Powder in Medium Plus. All I'm going to do, take a bit of that, just dab it under your eye, pushing it into your skin. So I find, if you can see here, I've got creasing already because I haven't set it, whereas obviously with this eye, I haven't now. So just push it into your skin, it'll go into all creases and it should stop anymore. And then I'm going to take a little bit onto my chin, just so it's not shiny, down my nose and on my forehead, wherever I use my concealer really. Just keeps everything in place, keeps everything together. Ooh, the light just flickered. I'm now going to use a new product, actually. I've not had them long. They are, again, Illamasqua, and they are gel blushes. This one is in the shade Tonic. By my brush. All I'm going to do, because I find that there is product in the lid already and you only need a tiny bit. So I'm going to get a brush, dab it in, tiny bit so you got some product. Then what I'm going to do is on the back of my hand, I'm going to take most of that product off. So I've got a tiny bit left on my brush. So you can always dip back into your hand if you need more. And then just on my apple of my cheek, I'm just going to dab around. Like I say, you can build it as much as you need using back of your hand, what you've wiped off. Just push it into your contour just a little bit. So you don't want to take away what work you've done already. Fine, if you smile, that's where you want to be putting it, on the apples of your cheek. Just going in a circular motion, dabbing it on, taking it up a tiny bit into contour. That is all you need to do. There you go. Right, I'm going to do underneath my eyes now. So using the original colour that we started with, which was Latte from P. Louise. And a small brush. If I can find one. Not that many brushes, just can't find anything. Use the original brush which I used, which was the PC38. And take a little bit of Latte. Looking up, stretching out your eyes as much as you can. I'm just going to put some of that colour under the eye. In fact, it just makes your eyes stand out a little bit more. Do the same on both eyes. I will be blending this in a minute. Exactly the same on both eyes. Then I'm going to go in with Fling. Just a tiny bit, like I did before. Just bring two colours together. Again, you don't have to put colour under your eye. I just like to, because I find it makes your eye just stand out just that little bit more. There we go. I've run out of my brown eyeliner pencil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat and I'm going to use my white liner, which is Gone Blank from MAC. And it's just a white liner pen. All I'm going to do is pull it down. Just be careful you don't pull too hard because you can end up smudging everything you've done. Pop that on my waterline, look, finger marks. Same again. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a flat brush like what I used to put on my pigment. Excuse me, my lashes just popped off. Right advertisement. There we go. And I'm going to use this one, which is Bestie from the P. Louise palette. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to top that white line up. You can do this with any colour. I like to do it with my bright colours and my neons because I find they just pop a little bit more. So again, just going to pull that down. I'm just going to pop that in my waterline. Do have to be careful with this because you can get eyeshadow in your eye. I'm used to it because I've done it that often. Just make sure you do cover all the white. That's it. Just going to use my foundation brush just to cover up where I made the little finger marks. There we go. Any mess you do make, you can just use brushes that you've used before just to go over. There we go. I'm going to take my mascara again, just an Avon GP mascara, just to my bottom lashes. find that all these little finishing touches completely change your look. That's bottom lashes on. Highlight. I'm going to use my LA Splash Luminous palette with a fluffy brush. That fluffy brush will be my Zoeva 134 powder brush, and I'm going to use this colour, which is Illuminate. Just going to take a little bit, you don't need a lot, and all I'm going to do is just on my cheek, just top, just add a little bit. Same on this side. On the tip of my nose, a tiny bit on top of my nose there, on the bridge. If you are going to put some on your top lip, tiny bit, because it can make it look like you're sweating. Just take a tiny bit, just there. Just a tiny bit, just so it makes your Cupid's bow just look a little bit bigger. And then a tiny bit just above your eyebrows, just gives your face just a little bit of dimension. So that is all the face, all bases done, as you can see in the light where your highlighter is, which is why you only need a tiny bit or else you end up looking like Tin Man. I'm now going to put on my lips. We don't want anything too much. This look might be a lot for some people, but this, for me, is not. If you've seen some of my looks that I do, you will understand why. I'm going to use one of my Primark lip liner pencils. They were, I think they were about 90p, and they are amazing. This one is Foxy Nude. All I'm going to do is just slightly overline my lips because I do have really small lips. And then I'm going to fill them with, got that many lipsticks, I have to look through and find them. Just give me about a week. Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to use one of my MAC lipsticks, which is a satin lipstick, and it's called Sis. See, it's like a nudie brownie colour. Can leave it there if you want, but I'm not gonna. I am gonna top it with one of my lip glosses from Peaches and Cream, and this one is in the shade Bambi. There we go. So that is the finished look. That is everything. Excuse me. I will put a product list and the description as well, so you know what I've used. And all I'm going to do now is use the NYX Matte Finish setting spray. We'll just keep everything in place just that little bit longer. So just get a few sprays, let it dry. there you go. All done. If you've got any questions, feel free to message me, leave a comment, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Hopefully if everybody likes the video, I will do others. So yeah, thanks for watching.